Hello, my dear students of Benguet State University. Welcome to our online class. I am your teacher, Jan Lasea.
Ladies and gentlemen, a blessed day to everyone. This is my first lecture on our subject, IT 122, Human-Computer Interaction 2. Let us begin our study on Chapter 1, Interaction Design Basics. How many interactive products are there in everyday use? Think for a minute about what you use in a typical day. Smartphone, tablet, computer, remote control, coffee machine, ATM, ticket machine, printer, iPad, GPS, e-reader, TV, electric toothbrush, radio, games console, Alexa. The list is endless. Now think for a minute about how usable they are. How many are actually easy, effortless, and enjoyable to use? Some, like the iPad and Alexa, are joy to use. Others, like a ticket machine, can be very frustrating. Why is there a difference? Many products that require users to interact with them, such as smartphones and social networking sites, have been designed primarily with the user in mind. They are generally easy and enjoyable to use. Others, such as switching from viewing a rented movie on your smart TV to watching a sports channel or setting the alarm on a digital clock, have not necessarily been designed with the users in mind, but had been engineered primarily as systems to perform set functions. While they may work effectively, it can be at the expense of how they will be used by real people. One main aim of interaction design is to reduce the negative aspects, like frustration, annoyance, of the user experience, while enhancing the positive ones, like enjoyment, engagement. In essence, it is about developing interactive products that are easy, effective, and pleasurable to use from the user's perspective. Good and poor design. A central concern of interaction design is to develop interactive products that are usable. By this is generally meant easy to learn, effective to use, and providing an enjoyable user experience. A good place to start thinking about how to design usable interactive products is to compare examples of well and poorly designed ones. Through identifying the specific weaknesses and strengths of different interactive products, we can begin to understand what it means for something to be usable or not. Let us evaluate a poor design example, the voicemail system. The voicemail system is a computerized system for delivery and reception of telephone messages. Voicemail enables telephone callers to leave messages when the person they are calling does not answer the telephone. Voicemail converts these audio messages to digital data and stores them on computer hard disk. The messages can then be accessed and listened later. Imagine the following scenario. You are staying at a hotel for a week while on a business trip. You discover you have left your cell phone at home, so you have to rely on the hotel's facilities. The hotel has a voicemail system for each room. To find out if you have a message You pick up the handset and listen to the tone. If it goes beep beep beep, there is a message. To find out how to access the message, you have to read a set of instructions. Next to the phone, you read and follow the first step. You touch 4-1. The system responds. You have reached the Sunny Hotel Voice Message Center. Please enter the room number for which you would like to leave a message. You wait to hear how to listen a recorded message. But there are no further instructions from the phone. You look down at the instructions sheet again and read. Step number 2, you touch the asterisk, you enter the room number, and you touch the number sign. You do so and the system replies. You have reached the mailbox for room 106. To leave a message, type in your password. You type in the room number again and the system replies. Please enter room number again and then your password. You do not know what your password is. You thought it was the same as your room number, but clearly it is not. At this point, you give up and call the reception for help. The person at the desk explains the correct procedure for recording and listening to messages. This involves typing in at the appropriate times the room number and the extension number of the phone. The latter is the password, which is different from the room number. Moreover, it takes 6 steps to access a message and 5 steps to leave a message. You go out and buy a new cell phone instead. What is problematic with this voicemail system? It is infuriating. It is confusing. It is inefficient, requiring you to carry out a number of steps for basic tasks. It is difficult to use. It has no means of letting you know at a glance whether any messages had been left or how many there are. You have to pick up the handset to find out and then go through a series of steps to listen to them. It is not obvious what to do. The instructions are provided partially by the system and partially by a card beside the phone. Let us evaluate a good design example, the marble answering machine. Now consider the following marble answering machine. The image above shows 2 small sketches of an answering machine phone. Incoming messages are represented using physical marbles. The number of marbles that have moved into the pinball-like chute indicates the number of messages. Dropping one of these marbles into a slot in the machine causes the recorded message to play. Dropping the same marble into another slot on the phone dials the caller who left the message. As we can imagine, the operation of the marble answering machine requires less steps and very intuitive and easy, as if you are playing pinball. How does the marble answering machine differ from the voicemail system? It uses familiar physical objects that indicate visually at a glance how many messages have been left. It is aesthetically pleasing and enjoyable to use. It requires one-step actions to perform core tasks. It is simple but elegant design. It offers less functionality and allows anyone to listen to any of the messages. The marble answering machine is considered a design classic and was designed by Dorel Bishop while he was a student at the Royal College of Art in London. One of his goals was to design a messaging system that represented its basic functionality in terms of the behavior of everyday objects. To do this, he capitalized on people's everyday knowledge of how the physical world works. In particular, he made use of the ubiquitous everyday action of picking up a physical object and putting it down in another place. This is an example of an interactive product design with the users in mind. The focus is on providing them with an enjoyable experience, but one that also makes efficient the activity of receiving messages. However, it is important to note that although the marble answering machine is very elegant and usable design, it would not be practical in a hotel setting. One of the main reasons is that it is not robust enough to be used in public places. For instance, the marbles could easily get lost or be taken as souvenirs. Also, the need to identify the user before allowing the messages to be displayed is essential in a hotel setting. When considering the design of an interactive product, therefore, it is important to take into account where it is going to be used and who is going to use it. The marble answering machine would be more suited in a home setting, provided there were no children who might be tempted to play pinball with marbles. We have now some ideas about good and poor design of interactive products. So what to design then? Designing interactive products requires considering who is going to be using them, how they are going to be used, and where they are going to be used. Another key concern is to understand the kind of activities people are doing when interacting with the products. The appropriateness of different kinds of interfaces and arrangements of input and output devices depends on what kinds of activities are to be supported. For example, if the activity is to enable people to bank online, then an interface that is secure, trustworthy, and easy to navigate is essential. In addition, an interface that allows the user to find out new information about the services offered by the bank without it being intrusive would be useful. The world is becoming suffused with technologies that support increasingly diverse activities. Just think for a minute what you can currently do using computer-based systems. Send messages, gather information, write essays, control power plants, write a program, draw, plan, calculate, monitor others, play games, to name but a few. Now think about the types of interfaces and interactive devices that are available. They too are equally diverse: multi-touch displays, speech-based systems, handheld devices, and large interactive displays, to name but a few. There are also many ways of designing how users can interact with a system, for example, via the use of menus, commands, forms, icons, gestures, and so on. Furthermore, ever more innovative everyday artifacts are being created using novel materials such as e-textiles and wearables. See the image below. There is a good news for bikers out there. This turn signal biking jacket using e-textiles was developed by Leah Butchley. While riding your bicycle, if you look on your left, the left LED signal will light on to signal the motorist that you are going to the left. This inventive interactive product is innovative and intuitive to use. A key question for interaction design is how do you optimize the user's interactions with a system, environment, or product so that they match the user's activities that are being supported and extended. One could use intuition and hope for the best. Alternatively, one can be more principled in deciding which choices to make by basing them on an understanding of the users. This involves taking into account what people are good and bad at, considering what might help people with the way they currently do things, thinking through what might provide quality user experiences, listening to what people want and getting them involved in the design, using tried and tested user-based techniques during the design process. I posted your first assignment in our Google Classroom. Please answer and accomplish it.
That ends our topic for today. I hope you have learned in my class. Thank you for watching. Carry on until tomorrow. God bless us.